Hey y'all, Natalie here for Shimmerz today, and I'm using the April color kit, and it is so cute. I'm showing you all the parts of it. So there's a raindrop stencil, there's a set of dots called You Are My Sunshine, there's those adorable daisy buttons, there are Cold as Ice vibes, Chickadee spritz, Don't Stitch on Me colorings. You know I love all of my liquid sprays, and the exclusive colors this month are Waves of Blue Inklings and Someone Like Blue Inklings. Two really gorgeous colors. There's also a Limoncello Shimmerz. Oh, that one is like my fave. So I'm starting out here. I'm going to gesso my page. So I get this raindrop paper, which mimics the raindrop stencil, and I just do a strip across the top, and then I'm going to do a white gesso. I know I use a lot of clear gesso, but this time I'm going to use white, and I'm kind of going to make it's almost like a tornado looking shape on the page. And so I'm going to cover up a little bit of the pattern paper, and then I'm going to bring it down kind of to a point at the bottom of the page. And I wanted a really soft look, so I decided just to use my fingers. I didn't want any scrape lines or brush lines. So that's what I'm doing here. And I get that kind of diamond shape, and there it is. I let it dry. And now I'm going to start my color. So I start with the, the Chickadee spritz, and I'm going to try the packaging technique. So I just kind of do that color on side of the page. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to let each colored section dry, and I kind of just want like a swatch of 3 colors, like a yellow, a green, and a blue, but all kind of going into one another. So I let them mostly dry, except for on the edges. I do want them to blend just a tiny bit. So now I'm going back in with the Limoncello Shimmerz, and this is a lighter yellow, and it has a lot more shimmer in it than the spritz does. And so you'll be able to see when it's dry in the close-up photos how much shimmer and shine that the Limoncello has. So I'm just kind of smushing it around with the packaging there. And I'm also using my brush, and I add a little bit of water. If you add a lot of water, it will dilute the shimmer color that's in it. So I don't do too much, but I do some. And this kit is so bright and fun. There's also a free cut file as well, which I did not get to highlight on this page because there was just too much in the kit. There's so much. You can make so many fun pages. The cut file is super cute. It's like a rainbow with heart clouds at the end. So now I went in there with the blue Cold as Ice vibes, and then I threw Waves of Blue Inklings. I'm sorry, Someone Like Blue Inklings on top. Wait, which one is which? Sorry, let me check here. This, the Waves of Blue is a darker blue color. So that's the color I'm working with there. That's super shimmery up at the top part of the blue. And then the Someone Like Blue Inklings is like a gray blue, and it's really gorgeous. And I'll whip that out here in a little bit, and you'll see. Look how beautifully those two combine. The Waves of Blue Inkling and the Cold as Ice vibes. I am getting a little green tinge in there because I didn't let the yellow completely dry, which is fine because we do have this lime greens Don't Stitch on Me color in the kit as well, which is what I've just sprayed down there. So I also wanted it to dry, and I was being a little impatient, so I'm also soaking up some of the excess color with the paper towels. That, and I don't want a super green color, which is what you would get if you let those combine. The Don't Stitch on Me is almost a yellow color when it dries. It barely has any green in it, and so I wanted to keep too much green out because there's no really any green in my photos either. So you can see I have those 3 colors kind of separate, and I'm really liking how they're drying. And then I go in with that Someone Like Blue Inklings. It's that gray blue pretty color. And so I just add a little bit over there on that side because I just feel like it needs a little more separation. There was a big spot of yellow. So now I'm going back through with my splatters, and I'm going to do splatters in the yellow, green, and the blue. And I just typically like to use my sprays to make splatters because to me that's what's easier. So you can see with the color, I just kind of followed the path of my gesso. So that's a fun tip. You can make the gesso in any pattern that you want, and then it kind of dictates where your color will go. So it kind of gives you parameters. I like that. So there's the close-up of the final background, which I really love. So there are my 2 photos. It's of my son blowing bubbles at Easter last year. And I'm using that, Alpha is from Paige Evans Bloom Street, and I like the way that it shows up on the yellow better. So I repositioned the photos, and the title's going to be Bubbles and Sunshine. But before that, I do go in and I wanted to use the stencil. So I just used some Ranger matte white texture paste, and I just did it in 3 spots. You know, a rule of 3 is usually good balance. And so I just did 3 spots on the page on top of my color, just to add a few raindrops in. It brings in the raindrops from the pattern paper. And it wasn't raining, but you know, bubbles kind of can drip drop, so like raindrops. It doesn't have to just be raindrops, but also it's just a good shape, teardrop shape. So I spread the texture paste in 3 spots, and then I let that dry really well. Make sure you let it dry well. It doesn't take too long, but it will smudge and get on things if you don't let it dry. So now it's time to build the page. I used, excuse me, I have a house full of people doing my voiceover right now, and a dog barking. So I got all these die cuts out from my stash, and the sunshine and the little bees are from Paige Evans Bloom Street. Let's see, I have a tag from a Simple Stories collection. There's my bubbles and at the top there. Those dots are from Simple Stories. And that little ticket is like a really old cut apart sheet from Die Cuts with a View, I think. So now I'm gonna, since I use gesso, I have to glue down my alphas, even if they are sticky. You know, nothing likes to stick to gesso. So I'm using my Nuvo glue to stick everything down, and I stick my title down, Bubbles and Sunshine, and then I'll go in and just place all the die cuts where I want them. Oh, there's my dots. I just used 2. I used the green one because I liked to bring the idea of bringing the green up to the top of the page, since I had some at the bottom of the page. And then I used the other one down at the bottom. And I just wanted to use one that had words, so I saved the blue one for later. I had used Half That Sunshine on another page, but come on, my title is Bubbles and Sunshine. I had to use that for here. And then those little bees are so stinking cute. And then we have the daisy like button embellishments. Those are adorable. They're really like tough resin, and so I make sure to use my Nuvo glue to stick those down because it holds really well, and they could get heavy if you do too many. So I just sprinkle them around the page, making sure they're dispersed well and look nice. And so off screen I added some embroidery thread behind the 2 bees, like little, you know, flutter lines. So I hope you enjoyed this. Make sure to run over to Shimmerz and get your April color kits. There are a lot of small businesses that need our support these days. So if you have some extra funds, support those small businesses. Thanks for watching, y'all. Subscribe and like down below. Bye.